Connie Jo Holmes here with BU2BFULL Hypnosis and Coaching. My mission with my company is to teach individuals how to confidently and courageously move from reacting to life to owning your life. And what I'm going to talk about today is a great example of moving from reacting to owning. And what that is it's with the small phrase that I love. And I hope I get it right. But it's something along the lines of, you live the life that you are grateful for. I love that. And I am somebody who I have been living in gratitude since 2011. If you think I'm full of it, go on my personal Facebook page and you will see that probably about 98% of my evenings since 2011, I have been documenting on Facebook 5 things that I'm grateful for. So I truly live what I'm talking about here today. And I can tell you, is my life perfect? Of course it's not. Do I have crummy days? Of course I do. But is the vast majority of my days exactly how I want them to be? Am I living my dreams right now, just in everyday life? Yes, I am. And I am because I have chosen, back in 2011 to live my life in gratitude. And so that's why when I saw this phrase, it totally resonated with me. And so that's what I want to talk to you about today, is the importance of living in gratitude, and how when you do that, your whole life becomes a life that represents, that you live in gratitude. Sorry, that was a little bit repetitive. But what I want to say specifically is, and it goes back to energy and vibration and things that I have talked about a lot in the past. So if you think about it, when I say universe is whatever that means to you. For me, when I say universe, it is God, my angels, divine masters, spirit guides, people who've passed, relatives who've passed, so specifically my dad, my sister-in-law, Kelly, and then a dear friend, Eva. So that's when I pray, that's my clan that I pray to whenever I, am talking out loud. So when I say universe, I mean that big old clan for me. But anyway, so your universe might be a little bit different, and that's fine. So I just wanted to clarify that really quickly. But if you think about it, when you are, when you can notice those beautiful things in your day and you can truly be grateful for them. And yes, it's the big things in life. I got a raise, I got a new job, I got a new car, I moved into my dream home. Yes, those are huge things to be grateful for. And of course, you talk about those and, like give thanks to them and all of that. However, those things don't happen every day. Gratitude happens, it should happen every day when you see that beautiful sunrise, when you are outside and it's really hot, but the most beautiful breeze comes by at the right time, when you're driving to work and you're running a little bit late and you caught all green lights, so therefore you weren't late. That is where gratitude is at, in the small everyday details of life, because that is what makes life worth living. But when you pay attention to those types of things, you're telling the universe, yes, more of that, please. Versus when there's a big pile of dog poop over here, just whatever crummy situation that is, and you're, dwelling on it. And not that I don't dwell on crappy things when they happen, but I try hard not to stay there long at all, But there are some people who, they stay in that space. And so, it's like, oh, I hate this. Why did this happen to me? I want to get out of this situation. And, they're dwelling and talking about it and all this kind of stuff. So they're giving attention to it. So in giving that attention over here, the universe is like, oh, all this attention's going here. I'm going to give more of that same. So what you're not realizing is the life that you're living is because of where you put your attention. So one other thing, and this is a very personal share here, but I have had people in my life, very close people at one time, and they're no longer in my life for many reasons, but this is one, who used to ridicule me and criticize me and want to, jab me down and say things like, sorry, I just had a thought pop in my head that I really can't share. But anyways, they would say things like, like, well, you're so lucky. The only reason you have this stuff is just because you're lucky. And you're spoiled, and just all these kind of derogatory, just really negative things. And then sometimes would accuse me of, I'm being fake in my positivity, I'm being fake in my gratitude, and just really kind of terrible. But the thing that's really sad about that is, if that person would have gotten curious and said, you know what, how can somebody be that lucky? What are they doing? And pay attention to that. And then maybe look at other people in their life who they perceive to be lucky and think, wow, what are they doing? And maybe find a common theme in it. And instead of being, jealous and, all these things, to sit there and say, wow, okay, that's what it is. Maybe I'm going to start to do that in my life, and then I can be lucky as well. So there's a couple messages in that, right? But the reason I'm doing lucky in air quotes is because I believe in luck a little bit, but I also believe that you make your own luck. So I think when you do look at people who, appear to, have it all and they're lucky and all this kind of stuff, if you look at how they're living their life, they are somebody who is positive, who's always finding, the bright side in every situation, who chooses to, yes, acknowledge that pile of poop, but then immediately, look at something over here that's positive, because that's, what you would rather see than, this pile of poop over here, right? But when you can do that, that then is, energetically, you are telling the universe you want more of this positive stuff. So that is what's being given to you. So yes, maybe that's luck. Maybe you're being spoiled, but that's being spoiled is coming from the universe. So, and to me, if I'm going to be spoiled, I can't think of a better place in the world for it to come from. So, all right, I could go on and on with this, and I do feel like there's a couple of messages in here. One is, so in closing, one is, we live the life that we are grateful for. Message number one. But then the second message in here, when I was kind of doing my personal share, is if you find yourself, you know, out of jealousy or envy or something like that, kind of wanting to pick someone apart and to kind of knock them down a notch or whatever, don't do that. That's just so hateful. And energetically, that's just such a terrible thing to do, because you're putting that out there. And actually what you're doing is you're knocking yourself down, whether you know it or not. But anyways, but what you do is, you look at that and listen to that little pang of envy that you have going on, and let that speak to you a little bit. But then decide what it is exactly that's speaking to you. And then, what you were picking apart in that other person, actually look at that and say, what is there in there that I can use for my own life? And then apply it. And then you will be living your life that you're grateful for. And therefore, this jealousy and envy is nothing that ever is in your space again, because you know that you can have those things too. But you can have those things too when you live a life in gratitude. All right, I hope that was helpful. If you liked this video, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. But also, I love this topic. And if this is something, because I think some people, I think some of us, we all have tendencies, right? You know how there's some people that are just like naturally athletic, and there's some people who are naturally, more book smart, that type of thing. I think the same is true with I'll call it a temperament right now. Some people are a little bit more programmed to be positive, versus some people are a little bit more programmed to, I don't want to say negative, but, kind of worry, be that worry word. So if you're that latter person and you want some coaching and some guidance on how to live a life of gratitude, I have been doing this since 2011, and I truly can say that I'm a gratitude guru, and I can help you with this. So if that interests you, please check the description box for how to contact me for a free 30-minute consultation.